As far as I know, there's nobody visually impaired today that needs to be dialed in. There are visually impaired people on the call. So Lynn, is it you or Ian that's actually leading the meeting, convening the meeting?
Well, Ian's going to run the videos and with the video, there's just the one, you'll be glad to hear. Open a couple of documents. I can talk to them, but Ian's going to be our main host, I think. Is that right, Ian?
Yes, that's right.
So Ian, do you want to welcome everybody and then get everybody to introduce themselves, etc.? Okay.
Okay, hello one and all. If you can just introduce yourselves. My name's Ian, and I'm the studio coordinator for Q and Review Print Speaking to the Blind.
Okay, my name's Lynn, and I'm a volunteer reader with Q and Review.
And my name is Karen, and I'm a volunteer reader with Q and Review.
So as I'm a volunteer reader with Q and Review.
I'm Howell Jones. I'm also a volunteer reader for Q and Review.
Bob, you've no mic
Hi.
on.
You're mute, Bob.
It was really good when I said it the last time, but I'm also a volunteer reader for Q and Review.
Hi everybody, my name's Alan. Very nice to meet you.
Is that everyone?
I was just saying Alan is a past chair of Q and Review and as well as being a volunteer reader. And Airte, over to you, I think.
Hi, myself Aarti. Good afternoon, everyone. I am a volunteer as a bookkeeping with Q and Review. Thank you.
And finally, Ian, our newest volunteer, and I know you're getting me to do this because Elisa, I'm just going to chicken out today. I'm not doing it. You can introduce yourself. Elisa, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. So hello, everybody. My name is Yelizaveta, and I would like to be a volunteer reader too. So I'm just a media and communications final year student.
Oh, great stuff.
Mm-hmm. And Ian and Lynn, just so you know, Elizaveta is actually one of our first ever Ukrainian volunteer. So particularly because of yesterday's anniversary, Elizaveta, you're very, very welcome to join us today. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was volunteering and actually handling the big crowd and everything in Glasgow yesterday with my students.
Great.
So, to start with, Lynn, what would you like me to start to share the video for the audio settings and sound levels?
Let's see. So, yeah, I was going to sort of give a little intro first, Ian, and then we'll go to the training schedule. I think it's called training schedule. Yeah. So if you want to open that first, I'll talk while it's up. I'd also like to say thank you to everyone who's here. Really big thank you. I'm, as I said in the intro there, a volunteer with Q and Review. I've been doing this for a year now. So many of you, obviously, you've got way more experience than me in recording for Q and Review. And we would like to, take advantage of all that experience around the table. And one of the things on our list of videos is to create one that puts tips, recording tips, lessons learned, troubleshooting things that you may have come across in the past together into the last in the series of videos that we'll do. But just let me explain briefly what our series is about. It's to show you how to use Audacity so that you can not only record, but also do a little bit of tidying up. Editing's kind of a big word for it. We're just looking for people to be able to cut out their mistakes, reduce these long pauses, you know, where you have to like take a breath and it kind of ruins the flow of it. And then upload the audio files when they've been completed to Dropbox and TNF. So that's the aim of the series, and we've got 6 of them. I'm going to look at the ones on my laptop, so apologies for looking away, but obviously we start off with an overview. All of them are very brief. That is the goal, to keep them short so that you don't get overwhelmed. Oh, and I should also say, you know, they're primarily for new volunteers, people who are new to Q and Review, but also people who are new to Audacity. So I know some people, you know, we're all great at recording. Some people stop at that point, but this is also to encourage people who are not using Audacity yet to dip their toe in the water, and hopefully these videos will step you through slowly enough so that you can try it out for yourself and do your own editing. Sort of, you know, take responsibility for your own edits and uploads, and then not have to rely on others at Q and Review to do that for you. So we've got an overview. The second video is installing Audacity and the ACX plugin. And then the one I'm going to show you today is just 4 minutes long. This one is checking the audio settings and sound levels. So the one you're going to see is sort of in the middle of them. So you will have missed, you know, the overview, and you won't see the full completion of editing and then uploading, but it gives you a flavor. Then number 4 in the series is recording and editing. Then we do running ACX and exporting an audio file, and finally uploading to Dropbox and TNF. And we would like, when you watch this video, to just make some mental notes to give us feedback. We're not showing all the videos, so the feedback we're looking for today is just a sort of, is it clear? How's the pacing? Too fast, too slow? Does it assume too much? Are we glossing over some details that might be helpful, or are we giving you too much detail? They really need to know all that. So we're just looking for that kind of high-level feedback today. And then at some point, we'll put the other videos out, and anyone who's got time, you're more than welcome to run through them. And then we can either have another session like this, or you can send us your feedback by email. So first of all, any questions just on the series of videos themselves? If not, we'll move on.
Lynn, could I just ask Ian if you could maybe fill the screen with the PDF if you just control rollerball, Ian? That might work.
It didn't work.
All right. It's
Try
not
that.
doing it.
No, I've had to use the...
Anyway, oh, there we go. That's worked.
There we go.
Perfect.
Okay.
And so while you're looking, you can ignore that right-hand status column. That's just my notes on where we are with each video. So
worth also mentioning that as well as the videos, you're producing a standalone PDF, so that if someone just wants to have a document to refer to, even just as a reminder to go back to, then that's another option. So we're trying to think about different options for different preferences.
And we'll show that after we've run the video. So Ian will pop one of these open so you can take a look.
Okay, so do you want me to start the video, Lynn?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start the video. Let's take a look. And it doesn't autoplay, Ian. You have to press the play button.
Okay.
And there should be some sound.
Can everyone hear that? No.
I'm not hearing.
second. That should be it.
Launch Audacity from your desktop shortcut. This is the main recording window. I'm using a Mac, but the Windows version looks very similar. If yours looks slightly different, don't worry, the options are still there. Your microphone. First, and this may seem obvious, plug it in. We've all had that moment of speaking confidently into a microphone that wasn't actually connected. If you're using a USB mic, plug it into a USB port. If you're using a mic with a jack, plug that into the mic in port. If you're using your computer's built-in microphone, there's nothing to plug in, but you do need to select it in Audacity. To select your microphone, go to Audio Setup, Recording Device. Choose your microphone from the list of options. Now, if you don't see it, go to Audio Setup, Rescan Audio Devices, and that usually solves it. Now, check the audio settings. Go to Audio Setup, Audio Settings. Most of these will be correct. We just need to check a few important ones. Host. Leave this on the default setting. Mac users, that's me, will see Core Audio. Windows may see MME or Direct Sound. All of these are fine. Recording device. Make sure this shows the microphone that you want to use. Mine is a Yeti. Channels. Set this to 1 mono. For Q and Review, we use 1 mono channel because it provides a clean, consistent sound. Sample rate. Set both the project sample rate and the default sample rate to 44/100 Hz. Everything else can stay exactly as it is. Now, let's check the recording level. Back on the main screen, look for the recording meter. Click the meter and choose Enable Silent Monitoring. You should now see the meter reacting. To check that it's working, give your mic a gentle tap. No drum solo required, just enough to see the meter respond. What levels are we aiming for? When you speak at a normal volume, aim for between -9 and -12 on the meter. As a guide, green is good, a little yellow or orange is also fine. Red means we're getting a little enthusiastic. If it's too loud or too quiet, first just try adjusting the distance from your microphone, slightly closer or further away. If you'd like more recording tips, there's a step-by-step PDF on the training page of the Q and Review website. If your levels look steady and mostly green, you're all set. That's it for this video. In the next one, I'll show you how to record and edit in Audacity. As always, if you have any questions, please get in touch at managingeditor@qandreview.com. So, Ian, while people are thinking about feedback and comments, do you want to just pop open the PDF? And you'll have to scroll through that too. There's about 12 steps in it. It's going to be a little bit difficult to get a sense of it because the screenshots are so big. So this is the PDF, and Alistair, this is Scribe that we're using here. So it does a reasonably good job. Can you get down to the next steps, Ian? Yeah, there we go. It's very basic, but what we do with these is just take the main steps from the video. As you can see, step 2, select your microphone, click Audio Setup, and then Scribe gives you that little highlight where the cursor is, so it directs your eye to where the cursor is, and each of the steps has a screenshot to go with it. maybe one more step. We don't need to go through all 12 of them. It's very repetitive. But so the idea there is, as Elizabeth said, is sort of a complement to the video. You can watch the video, or you can follow the PDF, or you can use, a combo of the two. Get the overview from the video, and then later, when you're trying it out yourself, use the PDF. Just depends on, which particular style you, excuse me, you prefer. Thanks, Ian. So going back to that level of feedback that we were looking for, is it clear? How's the pacing? Does it assume too much, too little? Who's going to jump in?
We go,
Either one, Bob, want to go first?
I thought the pacing was terrific, and I thought it was very, 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 very clear as well. It's hard for me to judge as somebody who done all that, but I kind of felt I could have, even as a beginner, I could have taken a little bit more in that in that mouthful, but otherwise,
not enough.
Yeah, because you start another one, you then got all the intro stuff again. Do you know what I mean? It felt on the light side of content.
Yep. Got it. Thanks.
Can I just interrupt, guys? What I'm going to now do is mute everybody, and when you go to speak, if you can just check that your microphone is on, okay? Lynn, as well, if you can also, if you're not speaking, could you also mute? We're getting quite a bit of feedback. Okay, so I'm now muting everybody, okay? So that should be everybody on mute. So if you are going to speak, if you can unmute yourself. Also, Alan was next to Ian. Ian, if you want to take charge of saying to people to unmute, okay?
Thank you very much. First of all, Lynn and everybody else that has put those together, absolutely excellent. Really, really easy to understand. And that really works for me. I like easy. I've been using Audacity for quite a while. And the good thing from my point, or the thing that I want to learn is how to upload. And so I don't have to bother Ian every week. If the video that does that is in the same format as what you've done, I know I'll be able to follow that. And even though I've been using Audacity, I think maybe 3 years now, Alistair, I'm not sure. I've been using Audacity for a long time. Even in that short video, there's things that I'll now go back and check that I'm doing because I'm not sure if I'm doing them. I also like the PDF. That works for me too. And if I am doing something which I'm maybe just doing for the first time, I would print that off and just have it sitting beside me. So absolutely perfect from my point of view. Thanks, everybody.
Alan, could you mute yourself? That's Alan muted. And Howell, I think he's unmuted, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a comment really, Lynn. I thought it was really clear. I'm an audio engineer by trade, and I can, that was perfect. I just wanted to make one comment really. When you're setting your audio settings, the sample rate of 44/100 hertz is fine, but it makes an awfully big file in terms of file size. So it means obviously it takes up more space on your hard drive. It also takes longer to upload because of the file size. So, I mean, I'm going to confess that I use 32 and not 44/100 because it cuts down the file size and it makes it quicker for me to upload.
Okay, that's a great point. Some people had been using higher, Huel, so it was generating an error. So yeah, let's try the lower one then, if that's what you typically use. Ian, what do you think about that?
You're on mute, Ian. You're on mute, Ian. Oh.
Ian's mute button isn't working, so I'm going to try and take him off. Ian, I can't unmute you. It's the mute button on the meeting. If you want, if you still have a
got it now.
There you
Sorry
go.
about that.
That's you.
Okay.
That's you.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, well, I think that's a very good point by Howell, that the sample rate doesn't need to be as high as that, for potentially saving time on uploading. I liked Alan's feedback about how helpful it was. I thought it was really helpful as well. I'm learning things I didn't know as well. So you're not the only one. Sorry, Lynn, have you got something to contribute?
No, I was just saying, me too. I'm learning stuff too. So yeah,
yeah,
we're all learning.
So I don't think we introduced Marie Spinks.
Hello.
Hello, Marie.
Hi. Can you hear me?
We can hear you,
Marie.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I just came into this because I got your email. I know absolutely nothing about technology. So what you've said so far is way over my head. I don't even understand Audacity, right? I don't even know what you're talking about. So there we go. That's
Marie,
it, really.
Marie, as somebody in a similar boat, I mean, I use Audacity, but very sparingly. I'm the pen pusher in here and the fundraiser. And last night we had a wee panic here because Karen, my missus, who will, when she hears this recording, will hate me saying my missus, but Karen was recording the Kirky Herald last night. We had a problem with noise reduction, Ian, and we basically had to phone Ian and say, what the heck do we do? And it turned out we also had to download Audacity. So, Mary, one of the things we could maybe do with Lynn is also having a video about how to download it properly, because one of the things that came out was that we were using, when Karen went to look for it, she came across something called News Hub, and that confused me because I hadn't seen. I was worried we were maybe downloading it from somewhere a bit dodgy, but it turned out and it's worked. Now the other problem for us is we are obviously now on the newest version of Audacity, and it'd be interesting to know. Either folk can put it in the chat bubble or they can say it here, what versions of Audacity they're using. Or in Mary's case, would you like to say how you do record at the moment?
I use my iPad. So I'll look up the paper, I log in, and then I have a voice thing in my iPad. So I switch that on, and half of the iPad is the newspaper and the other half is the recordings. And what the reason why I came into this today was simply to find out if I make a mistake, what do I do? I don't make many mistakes because I take a long time to read it before I actually record. So when I record, I can usually do it in one take, but every so often I might cough or sneeze, and then I have to do it all again because I don't know how to cut a bit, get rid of that, and then start again. So that was really the only thing I wanted to know today, because my brain cannot take anything else.
Okay.
Well,
sorry, I should just say one other thing. I don't learn well by looking at a screen. So unless it's absolutely step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, I'm wasting every. The best way for me to learn, if it's not a kind of step by step, is actually to talk to a real person in a real situation. That's about my summary. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So just to be clear, are you looking for help on recording with the equipment you're recording now? Are you saying you're not open to using Audacity, which is totally fine? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know if I'm open to using Audacity because I don't know what it is and I don't understand it. But I'm very happy to continue with my iPad because it's so simple. Even I can do it.
Lynn, one of the ways round this is one of the things that's going on at the moment is we've now got one day in the week when people are in the office. Ian goes to the office on a Wednesday, and we've got a couple of volunteers. And again, for a whole variety of reasons, that's working. So one option would be Mary could maybe come in. I think, Mary, is it Christen you are?
It is.
It is. So again, I can't now remember, without giving away too many personal details, I know you had transport issues for a wee while. If, as the weather improves, you want to come in, we can, because you're relatively local, we can obviously show you in person as well. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Ian, I think
that would be the best way for me to do it because otherwise I just would be overwhelmed. In fact, I'm overwhelmed listening to this.
Okay.
Don't worry. We're all in the
We
same
don't want
boat.
to do that.
Ian, I think Elizabeth had her golden paw up for a wee while.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, I really just wanted to say, Marie, that this is all about totally understand where you're coming from, and what we want to do here is help volunteers to build confidence. And I have a really difficult relationship with technology. It loves to throw gremlins at me, and I get very frustrated with it. But equally, with help, and one of the things we want to do is build this community so that we can help each other as well with that. And that might be having a mentor to help, someone who's more experienced to work alongside people who want some hints and tips. I think this is one of the things that we can discuss in these volunteer meetings that we have. And I, like you at the moment, I record on my phone rather than Audacity because I've encountered some technical issues myself with Audacity relating to the version of Windows that I'm using on my laptop that I'm still trying to work through. But that isn't to say that everybody will encounter those kind of issues at all. But when I'm recording, when we all make mistakes when we're recording, and what I do personally is I just stop at that. I don't stop the recording. I let it carry on, and I just wait so that it's very clear when the recording's finished that there's a gap there, and I'm going to go back and correct my error, and then I just carry on. And if I do that once, I do it once. If I have to do it 6 or 7 times, I do it 6 or 7 times, and then I finish the recording, and then I learned to edit that myself, which is actually quite straightforward on my phone. But in the early days, I just sent it off to Ian, and Ian did the editing for me. And so it's building blocks. You start off at a place, and when we've got confident in that, then we can move on to the next step, and we just take it at a level that we can manage. And if we reach our level and we don't want to go further, then that's fine. But if we can help each other to move on, then I think there are plenty of us willing to do that. Would be what I would say.
Thank you.
Just so as Bob Lesser's just put in the chat bubble that unfortunately Audacity isn't available for iPad, and Alan Clark and Howell are both saying that they are using 3.7.7.
Same with me, 3.7.7. So Marie, I don't know if you would be available to come into the office one day. I'm actually in 2 days a week. I'm in Wednesdays and Thursdays. Not Thursdays. I don't have any volunteers in, but I need to send out USB sticks to listeners that don't have any other way of accessing our service. So I don't know if you'd like to come in, Marie, but I wonder if I could perhaps suggest that someone that's got a better knowledge of Apple products would also be there. Now, I'm thinking maybe Eileen. If I know she's not here right now, but she records on I think she records on an iPad or a MacBook.
She does,
but,
yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Unless there's anyone else here that would like to come into the studio to demonstrate how to use Apple products. I mean, I could research it, but I think someone that was native to the technology would be better suited.
I can definitely come in at some point. I don't record on an iPad, and I take Bob's point. It's not available for the iPad because it is an old product. It's a desktop product. It was why I had so much trouble trying to find something that would record it, because all the new recording software, just does web-based stuff, and Audacity is a desktop product. I'm happy to come in at some point, but there might be someone more local who works off a Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean, Lynn, that you're not in San Francisco today?
I know I am today, but I'm coming back next week, Alistair. So, yeah. So
I thought I'd got your billing wrong. That was all. No. Live from San Francisco is Lynn.
No.
Well, if you were able to come in, that'd be super, Lynn. Or if Eileen's in Edinburgh, but I think it's about an hour's drive to her studios, I think, from where she is. So I don't know where you're based in Scotland, Lynn. Are you based in Kirkintilloch?
No, not anymore. I'm down in Scottish borders. So, but I have family who still live in the area, so I'm more than happy to come through. Takes me just a bit more than an hour, but I'm always happy to come through. I can catch up with my brother and some friends and things. So yeah, don't worry about the timing, especially if it's during March or April, summer months, but I think we would probably want to get going on this sooner rather than later.
Okay. Well, I think once you're back from San Francisco, then we can maybe arrange a date. And does that suit you, Marie, to come into the studios on a Wednesday or a Thursday through the day, and would you be available?
Yeah, I'm really conscious here that I'm causing more trouble. The reason
not at all. Don't be silly.
I mean, I'm happy to go on the way I am. I'm happy with that. But if you want me to make it easier for others, then I'd say I hard to come in, but you'll notice I always do my recordings about 8 in the morning, 8 or 9, and it's just because I'm so busy. So right, I'll leave it at that, and maybe think about it. It might be Ian, because you're the one that has to work when I send it to you. You're the one that does whatever you do and it goes out. So if that's not too much, I'll maybe leave it as it is. But if it is a lot and you think, well, it would really help if she was able to do A, B, or C, then I'll try and come in and get that.
Nobody. It's Olivia, who isn't here today, is actually in a similar boat in that she records. She does use that. I think she does use Audacity, but when volunteers first start, I get them to email me the recordings before, and once I'm confident they know what they're doing well enough to post them themselves, then I'll give them instructions to do that. But when Olivia was ready to take the next step, she just said, I don't want to do that. I just like things the way they are.
Right.
So that's fine. But I mean, it's not as if everybody's doing it, but no, on a Thursday morning,
Okay. I'll leave it as it is then. If you're okay with that, I'll just leave it, because the more complex it gets, the less confident I feel.
It's a shame. It's a shame every time you make a mistake, you have to restart the entire article. Though that sounds like a real bind.
I know. Well, it's okay, really. It's just when you're 6 minutes into it and you've made a mistake at the very end. But other than that, and as I say, it doesn't happen very often because I'm usually really well prepared. Okay, right.
I must admit, Ian, I think it was Kieran the other day was she's busy taking notes at the moment, but I think it was Karen the other day actually. She remembers when we were doing the old reel to reel and cassette to cassette recordings, and literally you did have to stop and go back to the start of the paragraph. And I think it was Karen, you said the other day that it was quite often. Actually, because if you made a mistake, quite often it's actually easier just to go back to the start of a paragraph or whatever, or in some cases read right back to the start of the whole article if it's getting confusing. One of the things that I think somebody had said to me recently about what's the next thing we're going to be doing. And again, if we were looking at reading technique and how to read for recording, one of the things would be how to cope with the newspapers online who keep duplicating the same paragraph over and over again on the website. So Marie, please don't feel as if you're being forced down a technical route. We're all in the same boat, and for some of us, we remember having to use a razor blade and pancakes of tape. There's Howell. He's agreeing. He remembers that as well. Again, does anyone else want to move on to a new topic or a new item there?
Yeah, please do, because I feel I've hijacked this and it's not what I'm meant to do. So let's move on.
Okay, so I think it was Alan that was saying how much you'd learned just from that. Is there anything in particular, Alan, that you've picked up from that video that you didn't know before?
Just the levels. I had never thought of setting those before. I also use an iPad to record, but I then email them to myself, and then I do them in Audacity, and then I email them to Ian. So it would be nice in some way to be able to do it more seamlessly. But I'm a wee bit like Marie. I've got a system that works for me, and unless something's going to make it better, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. But I'm happy to do what I'm doing, but I would like to be able to upload. And then hopefully if I do that, Ian, that takes a wee bit of pressure off you. But the thing I liked about the videos was the simplicity. I'm whether I'm logical or not, I have my own set of logic. I like the first thing, the second thing, the third thing, the fourth thing. And when I watched those videos, it was in sequence, and I liked that.
Yeah, I liked it too.
So Alan, if I could just jump in here, I'm going to, I don't know how we'll finish this up. I mean, I can give people who are interested access to all the other videos that we've done so you can see the whole series. But Alan, you did mention the upload, so I would really appreciate your feedback on that one. Okay. That would be great. Thank you.
Well, if I get a link or whatever so I can access them, I'll definitely go on to it, Lynn, and hopefully I'm able to do it. I'll still email it to Ian and say, Ian, is this all right? But at the same time, I'd be more than happy to get feedback as well.
Super. Thank you very much.
Okay, so does anyone else get any particular comments about the videos or recording in general?
Again, I love the simplicity, Lynn. I think the other aspect to it is that one of the things I'm concerned about is that on the old Audacity, you only got an update maybe once a year, whereas now it's quite regular updates are coming through. And for me, when I go in, I have a visual impairment. I don't find Audacity particularly ideal for increasing the size of the button or things along those lines. If there was anything that I'm missing in that would again be extremely useful. The other one is the other day we had an issue with the website online, but also an issue with Dropbox. And one of the things, if you are able or anyone else is able to help at the moment, is that we're talking about uploading here. If when we're uploading, Dropbox is also sort of trying to say to us that we should have double verification, this dreaded double verification where somebody has to get a text message. That somebody currently is me, and that's not working. Because obviously I'm not necessarily around when the link comes through. The other one for me on Audacity itself is noise reduction. I've put a banner up behind me today, but for those who know where I'm working, I'm actually here in my garage with I'm keeping myself warm with my hot air pumping out at me, which makes a noise. It makes consistent noise, but it makes a noise. And every now and again, some of you will appreciate the beer fridge kicks in and makes a chunk. So again, one of the things for me is the noise reduction side of it and being able to do that. Now, last night, Karen, when she started using the new Audacity, she couldn't find the noise reduction button, which is something she and I always use. So again, we're not sure where that is at the moment. So some of the basic things about how to improve your audio would also be quite useful as well.
Yeah, so that's a great transition. We could maybe just move over to talking about recording tips and so on. Just to answer your 2 points though, Alistair. So I've recorded these videos on Audacity 377. My understanding, and I don't know, Huel, Bob, anyone who's been using it maybe longer than me, my understanding is they're going through a big change at the moment. But from what I can learn so far, I don't think we need to be updating, accepting the new versions as they come out. What we're using Audacity for is not changing. So maybe what we can recommend is that people stick with the same version of Audacity that they're on. In the one about downloading Audacity, Alistair, I do mention don't use MuseHub. I point people directly to the no MuseHub needed. So, but not when you're downloading something, I know everyone's anxiety level goes up. So there is a chance that other people might have your experience too. But we have mentioned that. Noise reduction or recording tips, and I can go mute here. How would we like to approach that? Do you want me to put a few together and we can all chip in? Do you want to give me some suggestions today? How would you like to approach it?
Well, again, just for the Murray and others, it could also be the non-techie version of noise reduction.
I'll have a go at this if that's all right, Lynn. I think the noise reduction is something that's in Audacity. Now, if Marie's not using Audacity, then clearly it may not be a feature that's installed on whatever it is she's using on her iPad, or it may be a completely different workflow. So if we can concentrate on Audacity, then it's maybe that will be of some help to people. I think the principle really of noise reduction in Alistair's case, where you've got a steady noise that's going right the way throughout your recording, like a fan or anything that's generating a constant noise. If it's not constant, then it's more difficult for the noise reduction to work. But if it's constant, a fridge, for example, something like that, then this will work. But the principle is that you record your audio file, whatever it is that you're recording, and then you have to tell the noise reduction program within Audacity, this is a sample of my noise. So in other words, you have to have a pause somewhere in your recording, either where you've perhaps made a mistake and you've stopped, or at the beginning or at the end of your recording. And then you have to tell Audacity this little bit here, and you highlight the bit that we're talking about. You click and drag across the waveform in your gap. And then you say to Audacity, this is my noise. And it's important that you're not speaking or anything else is happening. You just want the noise itself and nothing else. And once you've told Audacity, this is my noise, when you then run the noise reduction program, what it does is that it compares the sample of noise that it's got with your recording. And what it does is it subtracts one from the other. So it takes the noise out of your recording, basically. Now, it does affect your recording a bit as well, because clearly a bit of noise may also affect your voice, but it is actually quite subtle, and most of the time it works really well. And then you run the program, you'll see it working over your waveform, and then at the end you will hopefully have a recording which has got at least, I don't know, a lot less of the noise. It's not entirely foolproof. It doesn't take everything out, but it certainly improves it if you got the sample correct in the first place. And then you can use that the next time you run your Audacity. You can use the same thing to go through and take out your noise. And you might say, well, it's always the same noise. That's true. But once you close Audacity, it forgets the sample that you've already got. So once you start Audacity once again and start recording, you have to redefine your sample, your bit of noise that you want to take out of your recording. And that's the principle. Now, how you do it in Audacity is, clearly, I don't know whether Lynn is going to go into this and actually explain how you get the program to work, but that's the principle of how noise reduction in Audacity works.
Also, just before, because I'm conscious of time, Kieran's had our golden pot for a wee while. Kieran, do you want to jump in before anyone answers anything?
Yeah, well, look, time has passed and we are getting to the end. And I really the only thing I wanted to say was that when I first started to use Audacity and I used Ian's training materials, I still found that it was a very complicated and complex piece of software, simply because it doesn't just cater for people speaking. It caters, I think, probably mainly for people who are making music, and maybe they're doing all sorts of other things, and they are podcasting, or maybe they're not. Maybe they're going onto the web with it. So I have spent huge hours discovering all of this and being able to say, oh no, I can't use that, or I can't use this. So I just wanted to say quickly, thank you very much, Lynn, because if I'd had your instructions, it would have saved me an enormous amount of time, and I find them extremely clear. And the other curious thing, the only thing I'm going to say, is that I found, my personal experience was, I found a change of technology. I moved from a PC to a laptop, just a different piece of hardware. And my goodness gracious, did I have to kind of not start again, but I had to recalibrate quite a lot. And I think that's something that maybe people should be aware of, that this can happen. That's it. Thank you. Bye.
Sorry, Alistair.
Go for it, Ian. I was just going to say that Kieran is also, just so as everybody knows, Kieran is also the Readers Director on the board. You can email Kieran at readersdirector, all one word, at QuenReview.com. And before Kieran says it, those emails automatically get forwarded to her personal email, so she'll pick them up that way as well. So that's readersdirector at QuenReview.com. Ian.
I was just going to say about Audacity updates. I wish I'd had the advice not to take them up in the first place earlier, because just yesterday I updated Audacity. I updated away and it came up with a box at the end. Do you want to reset your preferences or settings? Left it blank. No, I don't. It did. It changed all my settings for all my normalization and things like that I'd put in before. I think I had it. And also, just before I pass over to Bob, something that I would like to draw everyone's attention to. I don't know how computer savvy you need to be, but if you're using AI, you could just write in what are the best, if you're maybe wondering what numbers to put in the boxes or whatever, or it might be worthwhile just going to Copilot and saying, how do I use Audacity to such and such and such and such? And it'll be really helpful. I don't know if anyone's au fait with AI, but that could be really a useful tool. Bob? You're on mute, Bob.
I'm just wondering if, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm kind of bubbling over with questions for people who've mentioned some tip, and I'm also bubbling over with suggestions. Like when you were talking, Elizabeth, I was like, oh, I'm just one. We don't have time here, but I'm just wondering, do we have a forum for exchanging tips and issues, that sort of thing? Because I get the feeling from this obviously, Lynn, you'd like to wrap this stuff up into training. I think perhaps we haven't even harvested all of the good practice that we probably could from the experience of the group, because we don't get to talk to each other very often, you know.
Alistair, I don't know if you feel it.
Yep. Bob, could you maybe unmute yourself? Thanks. And that says, basically, I've just put into the chat bubble the Kuhn Review Friends group, where we do have a forum, that you could go in there and ask questions. And I would encourage everybody to ask questions. There's 105 people in that group, and it tends to be 2 or 3 people that comment in it. So please use the Kuhn Review Friends group that I've just put in the chat bubble. The other one, Elizabeth in particular, one of the things we had, I now can't find the paper, Elizabeth. So if you find it, when you realise what I'm talking about, you can email it back to me. But basically, I'd done a paper about things that we were looking to do over the next year or so, about training and about social media and various other things. But one of the major things out of today was, from today, if you can email back the training group, who's, I don't think I actually have. Lynn, can you remind me, has everybody got your email?
Probably not, Alistair. Yeah, no, I'm totally happy to send that out. Will I coordinate with Ian on that, or you directly?
Either you can stick it in the chat bubble just now, or
Sure.
And yes, if you, with your permission, I'll send it on. One of the things on this, I did get my knuckles wrapped quite rightly recently, because I'd made the mistake of putting everybody's email into the CC rather than the BCC. So I now try and put everybody into the BCC, which is why quite often you'll find that it's my one person's email is the one that you see on your emails. So lynn.mcneil@gmail.com has just been put into the chat bubble.
Yeah, so feel free, anyone to contact me.
Go for it. Brilliant, Lynn. And the other one is, if you either want to email Ian or Lynn, because it's now there, if you've got other topics or other things you want to discuss, and when you want to discuss them, and also how often you want to get together, put that in there. And the final thing, with 4 minutes to go before I shush, finally, is that we have consistently said we would like to get together, maybe in the city centre, somewhere maybe near Central Station or somewhere like that. And if you are keen on doing that, again, drop me, in this case, an email, managingeditor@kuhnreview.com, and we can maybe organise that. So Bob, back to you if you want to make any further comment there. You're all right. Anyone else? Elizabeth, you want to?
I think Alan's got his go up. Yeah.
Go for Alan.
Hi. I was just going to mention a slightly different way of communicating. I don't know if everybody uses WhatsApp, but I'm involved in a number of other groups, and WhatsApp is a really good way to very quickly get answers to things. And if you keep it to a small group, for example, just the people that are on this call, and if somebody has a problem, you'll probably find that it's answered within 5 minutes. And as I say, I'm involved in a number of groups, WhatsApp groups, and they're really, really quick and really easy to operate.
That's a very good input. Alan, the only thing I would say was that you need to be careful when you have your notifications on and off, because my mum's in a WhatsApp group, and she gets messages, 5 messages every hour, ping, 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 and she's like, oh, WhatsApp, because just like it's about something else. She's not doing it that exact minute in time. But yeah, I think if we do,
I think as long as you have clear rules and what it's for, and if everybody realizes it's just, if you're having an issue with Audacity, or if you want to put a question in, and that's what it's used for. I'm, as I say, I'm in a couple of different ones, and one that's used very well is Edinburgh Writers Group, And there's a group of us who are writers and we'll share work with each other and different things like that. But it's also really good if you come up against an obstacle. You can just whack it in, whether it's on an IT program or whether it's something that you're actually writing or a wee bit of research. And it's amazing how quickly people get back to you.
That sounds like a very promising suggestion.
Alan, do you fancy being the WhatsApp coordinator?
If I can find a teenager, yes.
That's my problem. Setting up a group, I don't have a clue how to do it.
I'd be happy to take that task, but I will have to go and look it up. All the groups that I'm involved in, I've been very lucky. There's been some young people, and honestly, I was in a room one day with 30 people, and they set it up before we left the room, and we did it within about 5 minutes. So I'd be more than happy to do that. What I'll need to do though is to get contact details. So what I could do, even I could set it up, Ian, and maybe send it over to you, and then you could ask for everybody's contacts and populate it then, if that's okay.
You would need phone numbers, wouldn't you? Not just email addresses?
Well, phone numbers I think is better, but I think you can use email addresses. I think.
Okay.
I think for a come and go chat, I think you need phone numbers. I mean, even I can set up a group, so you'll have no trouble, Alan, setting up a group. And
well, Karen, is that a volunteer there? Because I never turned down a volunteer.
All right. Okay. No, that sounds practical. And you can also, another nice thing about WhatsApp is that you can set up polls very easily to get choices. I was amazed how easy it is. It's quite an extraordinary thing. It's amazing. It's still free. But yeah, no, it's a good thing. I quite agree. And I think I would, my only mild concern is that I'm aware myself of a number of people who would not touch WhatsApp. And because of security issues, because big tech. So we'll just have to make sure that enough people who are interested are actually also happy to use it, which I think would be super.
Well, that would be great. And maybe we could email out to this group and ask everybody, are they okay to do it? One of the things you find about WhatsApp, though, it was one of the first to be encrypted, and that's why people use it. And unless, of course, you're the First Minister and you decide that you want to delete them beforehand. But no, it is encrypted. And if you're happy enough, Karen, to take that on that task, I'd be more than happy to support you in any way I can. But if you've already set one up, that would be great.
I'll set it up quickly, and then we'll see how it all goes. Because we can unset it if it doesn't.
Exactly, exactly right. But it is a really quick way, and as I say, like I even while I've been on this call, I had a WhatsApp from one of the guys. I'm doing a part-time course at the moment, and he's just sent me stuff through and said, "Look, Alan, I've got a deadline at 9 o'clock tonight. Any chance of having a quick read of this?" So as soon as I'm finished, I'll do a quick read and fire it back to him.
Okay.
Thanks, Karen. Thanks, Ian.
Ian, do you want to, and Lynn, do you want final words now?
Well, thank you all very much. And I'll look forward to, the WhatsApp or the feedback by email. Ian?
Just to say thanks to everyone for coming along and for spending the time to help our charity to provide our service. Well done, a great job. And I have actually spoken to listeners who wouldn't be without our service. Although sometimes getting feedback is like getting blood out of a stone. But I have spoken to listeners, and there's quite a guff gentleman that was like talking about the Kirky Herald. He said, "Oh, I don't like the what happened 100 years ago page, and I don't like this page, and I don't like that page." But yeah, I guess it's kind of good. And yeah, I like it, and I'd like you to keep sending me it, just almost begrudgingly. But I just said, you asked me what I thought of it, I told you. But yeah, I've spoken to a few listeners, and it really put some wind into my sails, because like everyone else, we're making all these recordings, and then especially now that I don't go to the Edit forum, I'm not really getting any feedback on them. But yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Sounds that we need to have another one of these. Alistair, Ian, Lynn, it's been really useful to hear people's different approaches and suggestions as to how we can all sort of pick up from each other what's good, what works, what doesn't work, and all that. So if there's a possibility of another one of doing this, then clearly that will be a great thing, because clearly we've gone through an hour and we've barely scratched the surface. I think, Lynn, because I think you probably got quite a bit more that you could have said, you know, or showed us.
Sure. Yeah, I can talk about it for hours.
Again? Do you want to do it again in a month, or do you want to do it again in a fortnight? And what day time suits while we've got you all?
I think a fortnight might be nice.
A fortnight.
Yeah, I think a fortnight might be nice. I don't know, to just keep the momentum going. Wednesday afternoon's good for me. But
oh, that's cool. I mean, if everybody either wants to put their hand up or whatever, I mean, a Wednesday afternoon, same time in a fortnight. That's great. And
but Elizabeth, what does that not suit you?
Unmute, Elizabeth.
Can't hear you. That's you now.
He was there for a minute. Yeah, that's fine for me.
That's good.
Okay, sorry.
Good. And Elisa and Mary and Airte, do you want to come back? Airte in particular, you and I, I'm still trying to sort out what we're trying to do. You and I are working on together, and I will be in touch. But if you do want to get involved in any of this or any of the reading, again, do you want to unmute yourself and let us know, or Elisa or Mary, if you've got anything you want to say just as while we close? Because if you don't want to say anything, again, can I thank you all? Oh, here we go.
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you. So
go for it.
But
go for it.
Obviously, it was a good meeting. Thank you very much. And I would love to be involved in WhatsApp groups, in meetings like this, and anything that gives me a bit more information about all of this. So of course, add me to the emails and everything. Yeah, thank you.
Airte? You're on mute at the moment, Airte. That's you.
Yeah, it's good to meet you all. Thank you so much.
And
I also wanted to make a little note, just in case you might need any help with anything social media related, putting up WhatsApp groups and everything. I'm really very quick with that, good with technology, with all the social medias, putting up something, creating something. So you can just message me and I'll do it quickly.
You'll be pleased to know, Elisa, I was going to I was thinking it, but decided not to say it. So I do want a gold star for not doing you're the young person in the room. Therefore we'll get you involved in doing it. So thank you for that. And Mary, you're okay. If you want, again, we're here to be supportive. And if you want to organise with Ian a chance to come into the office, please do so. Or the other thing is, if you let a group of us know when you're coming in, Mary, round the corner, I have started going to physio, and I'm actually beginning to able to walk a bit better. So I've made it halfway to the church round the corner that does off the good coffee and cake. So if we wanted to have a local group meeting round at Woodhill Gospel Hall, again, rather than being stuck in a cold office, you could come up to Woodhill Gospel Hall and get some coffee and cake, and I might even buy it. So that offers there as well. So unless anyone else has got anything to say anything, and you can wave at me if you do, community singing, our regular community singing class starts in 5, 4, 3. Alan.
just before you go, Alistair, I think it would be very remiss if we didn't say a big thanks to you, Lynn, Ian, and everybody else that has put this together. Certainly from my point of view, it's been an hour well spent. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all again the next couple of weeks. Thanks very much, Alistair and all the team.
You too, Alan.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Become a volunteer reader with Q and Review. You can help people living with sight loss stay connected with news and community stories, all from your own home, anywhere in Scotland. All you need is a phone or a tablet and a few minutes to spare. As a volunteer reader, you'll record selected articles from Scottish newspapers using a simple voice recording app. You choose the day and time that works best for you, and our team is here to support you as you get started. Your recordings provide a vital connection for blind and partially sighted people who rely on audio to access the latest Scottish news. Your voice helps them stay informed, included, and part of their community. Many of our readers say how rewarding the experience is. They enjoy learning new skills, helping others, and contributing to a service that makes a real difference every day. If you'd like to join us as a home reader, we'd love to hear from you. Email studio@qandreview.com or call 0141 724 1797. Let us know your name and that you'd like to become a home reader. Together we can make the news accessible for everyone.